Gamers can be divided into two categories: casual gamers who play for fun, and hardcore gamers who play for more. For the most part, these gamers exist in peace, but above both of them are a third type of gamer: the speedrunner, gods among men. Speedrunners spend hundreds of hours carefully planning, executing, and running as an attempt to claim immortal fame by obtaining the world record. You know, I've always wanted to know what it's like to sit in the big boy chair and dine at the table of the gods, and at the very least have something cool to add to my resume. But all this weird stuff, skill, effort? I had no intention of learning any of that. Well, this is how I still got my very own world record. All that remains now is to get Luigi ready. That's not even the right Luigi! Alrighty, in this run, all we have to do is collect every single normal and green star in World 2. Yeah, that's probably a better explanation than using its actual title, because look at this. There's probably one too many words in here. But you know what? Let's just get started. Puzzle Plank, being one of the longer galaxies, has 6 stars to collect. The first star comes from Luigi swiftly delivering a late abortion and an early funeral to a happy family of bugs. The second star is a Cosmic Clone Purple Coin Challenge. And sure, maybe I could have cut off a few frames right here, but I think it's viable for a speed run. Star 3 is one of the more interesting stars. Under normal circumstances, we'd have to feed a hungry Luma a certain amount of coins. But since this allows us to play on a completed file, we don't have to worry about that. We can get straight to beating up the big baddie, who, let me say, isn't very happy about having to spend his birthday coins on a child-sized coffin. Luckily for him, he'll never have to buy something again in his life. After snagging the other 3 green stars, we made our way to Hightail Falls Galaxy. This galaxy was particularly fun because I got to use Yoshi's Infinite Flutter, and well, you know, I may not have needed to use it all the time. It sure does make me look like I'm good at the game. The third star here is actually one of the most interesting stars in the game. You fight this one little enemy here called a Klepto that never appears anywhere else in the game, or even the series as far as I'm aware. But you know what Luigi does best to endangered species? He makes them extinct species. Now, since I didn't do any research beforehand, I think I may have spent a bit too much time looking for one of the green stars. But hey, the speedrun's looking great! This next galaxy was all about the rock mushroom. And sure, maybe that's good news for the traditional speedrunner. I was lacking a bit in the skill department today, and so it was a bit worse than I would have hoped. At least this galaxy has one redeeming thing: the planet full of crabs. Wild Glide Galaxy, on the other hand, was almost perfect. It's basically designed for speedrunning with its own racing and timer and all that stuff. It's perfect, aside from one small little issue. On 3 of the 4 stars, there's a forced tutorial. 2 of those stars are from the post-game. Who even thought this was a good idea?
Alrighty, this is going to become the greatest Mario game ever made.
Let's throw in 3 unskippable tutorials so they don't get high expectations. Stop the madness! Well, let's just get to the next galaxy, shall we? Ah, yes, Cosmic Cove Galaxy. The simple nature and relaxing music seems like this would be a nice stop on our journey, but the one issue with every water levels, I just don't know the optimal way to move around. Sure, there's a shell there, but that only makes things more complicated. It wasn't really a huge problem on the first or third star, since those are rather short anyways, but the second star has this long 2D swimming section, and I just felt like I was doing everything wrong. I probably was, but that's a different, unrelated story. Honey Bloom was a blast. The second star is extremely quick to grab, and in the rest of the galaxy there's lots of areas for high-skilled play with all the cloud and flower jumps. Luckily, for me, I suck, so I ended up just getting the bee mushroom. After grabbing the second green star, all that's left was one more galaxy, but our timer could probably be looking a bit better. Let's just not worry about that, shall we? In Bowser's Lava Lair, we played things a little bit differently. We grabbed the main star last. Now, this wasn't so that we would end off with a cool final battle with Bowser, although that is a nice bonus. This was because according to the rules, the timer stops as soon as you touch the last star, which means we don't have to watch the full Grand Star animation if we grab it last. All around, this is a great level. There's a ton of skips that even a bad player like me could use. And finally, after grabbing those 2 green stars, smashing that comet, and beating Bowser, we were finally ready to grab the Grand Star and end our run. The final time may be atrocious, but I have nothing better to enter. Submit. All we had to do left was wait a single night, and then come back to my computer and check what went on. And finally, there it was, my admission into godhood, my very own world record. Let's go, man. Now I bet you're wondering, how did this idiot get a world record? Well, it's really simple, actually. I was the first and only person to ever run this category.
Whoa. I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hack, if you're the only person that's run this category, that means the category's irrelevant.
Sure, but what if I told you somebody else that did run this category? Yeah, and they took the world record with them. You know, former world record holder has more character anyways. Hey you, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. It's free and easy.